What is going on, dispensary owners? Brandon back at it again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to go through ranking some of the top social media platforms to market your dispensary. There are a lot of ways we can go ahead and start to evaluate. I did another video with an evaluation matrix with a few other types of marketing strategies like direct advertising, traditional advertising, flyers and stuff like that. But here, I know a lot of you guys are really focused in the digital marketing space. So I'm going to outline a few of the criteria of what makes a good platform to use and what makes a bad platform to use in order to market your dispensary. So first things first, let's go through Facebook. So we have very effective and then prohibited and then not prohibited, right? We'll just use those two as the main factors because if it's effective, it's great. But if it's prohibited, you can't really do anything about it. With most, if not all of these platforms, from an ads perspective, you can't really advertise any cannabis related products, right? But there are a few ways to get around it. But for the most part, we'll just stick to the guidelines and not talk about any loopholes that we have going on. So Facebook. Facebook has a massive user base. They have, 2 billion people on the platform or something like that. Crazy good. So they have the eyeballs, but the problem is that you can't advertise anything really to do with cannabis, right? So we're going to put it down here, pretty prohibited. And then in terms of efficacy, there are a lot of ways you can use Facebook, right? Facebook isn't just like, hey, let's just do Facebook videos or let's just do posts. You have Facebook groups. You have a lot of different things that Facebook does. And what I would say is that whatever platform that you're most comfortable with using or you can maximize the efficiency of, all right, that's probably going to be the best platform for you at the end of the day, minus one platform that I would definitely recommend. Because at the end of the day, if you know ins and outs of Facebook and how to use it and the guidelines and loopholes, that's probably going to be more effective than you trying Twitter or TikTok, for example, right? I've seen in the Facebook space something really interesting when it comes to groups, where if you have a local group on Facebook, not necessarily in the massive metropolitan cities, but in the smaller areas, what tends to happen is that you can probably get away with launching a smaller Facebook group. Maybe you have 200 members, 500 members, 1,000 members, and then you can use that as kind of like a funnel to keep nurturing people. So you don't explicitly talk about your cannabis products, but maybe you have a group that says, hey, interest in Canna ? Join our group here in insert city, something along those lines, right? And then what can happen is that instead of you using a Facebook group directly to sell, you use it to create a community. You're the community owner, and then you can go ahead and start using it, right? Then from a one-on-one level, one-on-one at scale, you can go ahead and use Facebook, and then boom, you're good to go. So we're going to put it here in slightly effective, I would say, but it is prohibited for the most part, so it's very difficult to use, but groups are a really good idea. Now, Instagram, you'll see probably all, if not most Instagram dispensaries have an Instagram page, but all, if not most of dispensaries have also got their Instagram page banned. Now, I would say for Instagram, again, it's effective, right? Not effective in the sense that are the likes going to generate sales, but if you become one of the most popular Instagram channels or Instagram pages, right, it starts to be pretty good. And honestly, I put it slightly ahead of Facebook because people still use Instagram more. You can probably get away with a little bit more on Instagram than you can on Facebook, right? You can show pictures of your store, have people scrolling. You could use this as your nurturer. So if you do trade shows or if you do any kind of events, you can ask for people to follow you on Instagram and then you can do things like that. DMs, a lot of people use this. It's a visual thing. So if you have a dispensary that you want to showcase your branding and your store, Instagram's a pretty good way to go about doing it. TikTok is interesting again because I've seen TikTok in the branding sense in terms of if you have a TikTok go viral, in most cases, that product you will sell a lot of that product. The problem is that if you go viral on TikTok and you want people to go into your store, not everybody who sees your TikTok will end up going into your store. So I've seen a lot of effectiveness on TikTok, again, when you can get away with it, when people are selling, like, let's say brands, so CBD companies especially, right? If you can go viral on TikTok, you can go ahead and sell a lot. But for the purposes of getting people into your store and buying product, I really don't think it's the best idea. Again, it's not that any of these are really inherently bad, but it's about what alternatives can you allocate, what resources can you allocate to alternative things to help you generate more sales as possible, right? Twitter is actually not prohibited at all. So unless Elon changed a bunch of things, the last thing I heard is that Twitter is allowing advertisers to go on here, and also just allowing the promotion of cannabis products, right? Very, very good stuff. Now, Twitter, for now, is mostly a text-based platform. They have videos, they have images and stuff like that. And similar to Facebook groups, what I would say is that Twitter can help garner a community, but it's very, very difficult. It's very long. Like if you are the dispensary owner, you probably don't have enough time to build up a Twitter following, right? But if you do, you can help increase the community that way. Like I said, it's one-on-one at scale. So it's not going to be you're going to put out one tweet. It's going to be you're going to put out 5,000 tweets over the course of 2 years, and then it's going to start working, right? You can, again, test on ads, but in the ad space, again, unless you own maybe 10 plus stores, it might be difficult for you to generate the amount of traffic that you're looking to get out of Twitter, just because there's just not many people who are on Twitter who are cannabis purchasers who will then visit your store to purchase some cannabis product, right? I don't think the user base is quite there, especially if you're in some smaller cities. This might be a more effective strategy if you are in more popular areas. But again, I would put this maybe on the same efficacy of Instagram slightly, just because you are allowed to do both advertising and you're allowed to do both organic play. So this might be slightly more effective, if not, maybe right there. We're kind of nitpicking, but about the same. It's just that more people are using Instagram to see things, and that Twitter, you're just more so allowed to do it. So that can help in terms of the efficacy. Now, YouTube. I don't think you can explicitly start selling product and stuff on here as well, especially in the advertising space. But in terms of prohibited stuff, all they will do is just make your thing age gated 18 plus, again, which makes it very, very difficult. But if you can garner a massive YouTube channel and you become this kind of famous dispensary in your area, maybe you get super creative with your media, maybe you go ahead and partner with a lot of different people in the space. Maybe the equivalent would be you working with like influencers, like maybe of rappers and pop stars and celebrities and all these different things. Trust me, on YouTube, it's long form video. So people are going to end up coming and purchasing anyways, because you are now this famous place to go to, right? So if you start a podcast and you have a bunch of good influencers on there and you showcase your dispensary in a secret way, not in a secret way, but more in a subtle way, because what ends up happening is that on social media, people make the mistake to use social media as this thing to sell product, right? When it's this thing that is typically used to entertain. So it's you use your brand to entertain the audience is then happy, and then the algorithm pushes your content online so that people will then go ahead and purchase from you. It's not, hey, come visit my store, come visit my store, come visit my store. It's like, hey, look at this entertaining information. At some point in time, we're going to get big enough, our YouTube channel is going to get big enough, we're going to get enough like clout, if you will, in the space that people are going to come in and start buying, right? And then last but not least is the big G in terms of Google. And I would say this is the most effective strategy that you can use, because what happens on Google is that whenever people are looking for a brick and mortar location, it's going to be insert dispensary near me, right? Insert city, insert dispensary, or dispensary near me, right? That's just the buyer journey of how people purchase cannabis products from a local store. Because if anybody is trying to find a local store, what they do is they Google it, right? So if you're looking for a plumber, if you're looking for a roofer, if you're looking for an electrician, if you're looking for a restaurant, all of these things come through Google, and Google's absolutely the best way for people to find you, because people have high intent there as well, right? You're not going to type in restaurant near me if you're not looking for something to eat, just like how people aren't going to type in dispensary near me if they're not looking for product to purchase, right? The only reason why I put this slightly below Twitter in terms of prohibited and not prohibited is because Google doesn't really allow you to use its product, right? On ads, sorry. They don't allow you to promote cannabis product via ads, but we know it's super, super effective. And now that I'm looking at this list a little bit more, I would probably put Twitter. This seems pretty effective, actually. So we're nitpicking a little bit, but I would put Facebook more here, Instagram here, and then Twitter more here, because these are I would say much closer to the middle than they are closer to these sides, right? And then YouTube, I think, would be over there. I think this is a much more appropriate visualization of how I would look at doing these graphs. So to quickly summarize, the reason why Google is here is local SEO super effective. People are going to be typing in dispensary near me to find your location, and the buyer intent is super high. So this is good. The reason why it's closer to down here and not all the way up here is because, yes, you cannot advertise on Google Ads. But on local Google, if you're using SEO strategies and optimization, you should be good to go. Google, same thing, right? It's just less effective because the intent isn't as there immediately. If you build a massive YouTube channel, you'll be able to become the most popular dispensary online, but that's obviously going to take a little bit of time. Twitter allows you to do ads and organically, so you can talk about your cannabis products here. But I wouldn't say it's very, very effective because, you know, you have to translate your words to visuals, and YouTube already does that for you. Again, Instagram, sorry, just to change this one more time as I'm going to do this, I would say Instagram actually would be slightly more effective than Twitter, even though Twitter is allowed to do it because, again, very visual platform. A lot of people are on it. I think this is probably the second best thing that you can do in terms of short-term things. Facebook, again, prohibited. You can't really do anything, but you can create Facebook groups, which allows you to do one-on-one at scale, similar to Twitter. And then TikTok, I wouldn't even really bother with it right now. They just like restrict a lot of stuff. And I wouldn't say it's the most effective for long-term things, because even if you do go viral, you need to ensure that the people who find you are the ones that are going to go visit your store anyways, right? But again, if you build a massive TikTok channel, you know, if any of these channels go viral and you become the number one in the world, obviously it's going to be very effective, but we're talking about the percentage chance that is actually going to happen, right? So overall, this is kind of how I do it. And if you were to ask me the order at which I would focus on in terms of building the brand, I would probably start with Google, right? I would then go to Instagram just because it's a lower hanging fruit, then build out the YouTube channel. Then you can decide between Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. It really doesn't matter at that point. But these two, just for baseline stuff of just having something, I don't think Instagram would really relate to any direct sales, but I do think that there is a lot of power in building, in starting a long-term marketing plan by building out a YouTube channel. So hope all that helps to kind of go through my thought process on how I would rank the different social media channels and the different marketing strategies, and hope you enjoy. So if you really like this video and you want to talk more about this big G, how you can rank higher on Google, how you can get more people going into your dispensary, feel free to go to our website, cannabudmarketing.com. There's a bunch of stuff, bunch of case studies. Here's a little explainer video showing you exactly what we can do. Then once you click this button right here, you can go ahead and schedule your free strategy session. There am I right there. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic day. Talk to you later. Bye.